Sue Romanoff, Head of Healthcare at Edison Group. Today, I'm catching up with Carlos de Sousa, Chief Executive Officer, and Jens Bjørheim, Chief Medical Officer from Ultimovacs. Welcome. So Carlos, we've had a lot of data shared from the legacy phase 1 trial, including survival responses and biomarkers. Could you please consolidate that for me?
Absolutely. It's been a great study, the UV1-103, because really, for a phase 1/2 study, we have been getting a lot of very, very good data. As mentioned, if we talk about, first of all, in terms of safety, safety has been very good. What, as everybody knows, is extremely important in when most of these patients are going to be treated with combination of 2 and 3 drugs. So the fact that the only side effects that are different from the monotherapy alone is injection site reactions, what is in a way also positive. It's very good. So I think that's one of the key findings. But of course, the most exciting ones are what we saw in terms of responses, where we had 33% complete responses, out of a total 57% of objective response rate. So we had more complete responses than partial responses, what is totally unusual, but is a confirmation of our mechanism. We really want to move patients from stable disease to partial response and then complete response and extend survival, and that has been the other great finding is really the extended survival and that we see in patients treated with UV1 on top of pembrolizumab. We had at the 12 months, 87% of the patients still alive. After 24 months, 73% patients still alive, and now in one of the cohorts we got 71% after 3 years. So these are very good data, and particularly if we look at comparing with historical data. So all these data that we're getting from this study are very positive. But also, the latest one in terms of biomarkers was very positive and created a lot of excitement when they were presented at Sousa melanoma research, really showing that it doesn't matter if the patients express PD-L1 or not, the efficacy is still going to be there. What is a very positive finding, and we had also other biomarkers all pointing in the same direction. So, very good data in different fronts, and we are very happy really with everything that we are getting from this study.
Jens, there's been quite a bit of attention on malignant melanoma with some larger pharma companies. And the phase 2 INIUM study is using alternative checkpoint combinations, UV1, nivolumab, ipilimumab versus UV1 pembrolizumab. Would you expect similar biomarker responses with this combination?
First, a small background. So when you treat patients with the CPIs or checkpoint inhibitors, you will have, for example, in a group of 100 patients, you will have a percentage that have a very good response. Some of the patients will have a partial response, and some of the patients will progress on the drug. In retrospect, in different trials, the investigators have analyzed different biomarkers to try to make prognostic biomarkers that make it available for them to, in a way, choose patients for right treatment upfront. When we add UV1 in the UV1 pembrolizumab trial, we do not see any prognostic value of these biomarkers. So when you are testing PD-L1 tumor mutational burden, antigens, interferon gamma signature, we do not see a group of patients that are benefiting from having a specific value on those. So they are in a way nullified, or they are not prognostic in this trial. If this is a true signal, it should be placed on UV1, the vaccine, and therefore I also expect that these will hold in other combinations in other trials. But the future will see if we can see the same in the Initium trial.
So Carlos, the latest data would appear to broaden the potential patient population that may benefit from the UV1 checkpoint combination. Melanoma generally, as you know, has a higher response rate in patients to checkpoints compared to patients with solid tumors. We're talking 45 to 60% versus 15 to 30%. Does the latest data result give you encouragement that you may be able to tackle populations of low responders in solid tumors?
I think, this data in melanoma, it's very important. It definitely will be patients that, as we saw, that respond better than, if just with the CPI alone. But melanoma is probably not the indication where we see the potential to make a biggest difference in terms of how patients are treated. If we pick up, for instance, in non-small cell lung cancer, in head and neck cancer, where the PD-L1 expression defines what treatment the patients are going to get. For instance, in non-small cell lung cancer, are you going to get a checkpoint pembrolizumab monotherapy, or do you need to combine with chemotherapy? And the cut is about 50%. So if really we can expand, as we produce more data, and we can, extend and lower this threshold, this means that more patients will be able to be treated with pembrolizumab mono and avoid chemotherapy. And we think this is of extreme value for patients, and of course increases a lot the use of UV1, and expands the number of patients that will benefit from adding UV1 to the checkpoint inhibitors mono. And those are just examples of two indications, two tumor types, but there are other tumors where there will be definitely a benefit of expanding the pool of patients that will be covered then by the UV1 adding to the monotherapy with CPI.
Jens, to press on the survival data a little bit, we've seen 3-year survival data from UV1 103 based on the length of the study, but I believe we've also seen that these drugs have shown to be helpful significantly longer. Could you clarify the significance of this along with the latest biomarker data on your ongoing phase 2 study?
Yes, in earlier trial with the checkpoint inhibitors alone, like pembrolizumab alone, it has been shown that if you are in a complete response, then the likelihood of a long time overall survival is very high. So the ambition from the clinician side is to push the patients into a complete response. What we did see now with this biomarker analysis is that it's the same number of complete responders among those with low expression of these biomarkers as compared to those with a high expression. And this goes for all the biomarkers we analyzed. This means that patients that had a not that good prognosis and didn't respond that well to pembrolizumab earlier, if they are treated with the vaccine on top, more of those patients are pushed into a complete response. Hopefully, this complete response will translate into long-time overall survival also for these patients in the future. So we will keep on watching these patients in the years to come to see how this develops.
So, Carlos, what should investors look for in the next 12 to 18 months?
Well, I would say in the next 9 to 18 months, we have been, getting very good data, but we are really approaching a very exciting period in the company. As everybody knows, we have 5 phase 2 studies running, but 2 of those are going to get results expected in the first half of 2023, just so really around the corner. So that is going to be very important period for the company, because if these studies are, deliver positive data, these will be transformational for the company, from in terms of moving forward, but also supporting discussions with potential partners to enter into strategic partnerships. But of course, this is the first two, then the melanoma study and the mesothelioma, and then, towards more later in the year, and then, we will know a little bit better these timelines, and we will update the guidance with the Q4 22 report. But then we have the ovarian cancer and the head and neck cancer, and then a little bit later the non-small cell lung cancer. So it's going to be a very, very rich period of time with a lot of data that we all hope it's positive, because this will definitely benefit a lot of patients.
All right. Well, thank you both for your time here. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Please see the Edison website for more information on Ultimovacs.